David here, One Up Gaming, episode 345, I think. Guess that's the podcast. News section now, talking about news, hats, t-shirts, everything's pretty cool. Cheap and cheerful. So David here, One Up Gaming. Gonna have a quick go with some of these news. So first of all, Harry Potter TV series is in talks at HBO Max and Warner Brothers. So HBO Max and Warner Brothers are officially in talks on a TV adaptation of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books. A source close to the situation tells IGN. So the series was near a deal on the series, which will reportedly cover each book one season at a time. IGN source, however, clarifies that Warner Bros. Is nowhere near a deal while the project remains in talks. IGN has also learnt that should a deal go through, the series would be developed as a HBO Max original rather than for HBO proper. But yeah, they can probably get more money that way, can't they? You know, people sign up to the service, but I don't know. We'll see how they sort of do. I'm not a massive fan of Harry Potter. I think that it kind of grew on me just because one of my old girlfriends used to watch it religiously. Used to have the books on every single night. So I kind of grew into it, if that makes any sense. It wasn't brilliant in my opinion, but what can you do? We will go through and see. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for a Harry Potter series or not? So next up we have Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Their director explains how its wildest cameo happened. So it's saying that there's a spoiler ahead. I don't know. It's going on about is it Bradley Cooper? His own size, and I don't know. I'm not that bothered about this movie, to be honest. I'm really not. Dungeons and Dragons, I loved the cartoon series as a kid, and a lot of the games I've never really played, and the D&D role-playing game stuff I've just stayed well away from. It's just strange. But I guess we'll see what happens soon. So we will go into the next bit of news, and that is Street Fighter is jumping back into the video game movie fray after a rights deal. So a new live-action Street Fighter feature is in development at Legendary Entertainment. Legendary Entertainment now holds the rights for live-action film and television adaptations for Capcom's Street Fighter franchise. The company announced today the projects from Legendary will be developed in conjunction with Capcom. Today's announcement didn't reveal any details about the upcoming film. So it's also, the production company's also had its Detective Pikachu movie. It's also responsible for Dune. That was good. Enola Holmes. Never watched it. Why would I? And the modern MonsterVerse movies. Like, what the hell are the MonsterVerse movies? Because I don't know. So, Street Fighter franchise live action movies before. The most famous being 1994's Street Fighter starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, which you have to mention Joel Juliana, because he only took on that role because his little kid said he wanted him to be in that role, and he made Bison amazing. It was just an amazing actor, an amazing guy, and he made that Street Fighter movie the best. Another attempt was made in 2009's Street Fighter: The Legends of Chun-Li, which starred Kirsten Kuruk as an iconic character. I think she was in Smallville or something like that, and from what I've heard, the movie's bad. I've not watched it. I have it, I think, on DVD, or I had it, and I've not watched it. They've also had a handful of animated movies and TV shows, Street Fighter, blah blah blah. So people are currently looking forward to Street Fighter 6. I'm one of them people. Street Fighter 6 could be an amazing game. What do you guys think? Are we having way too many shows and movies based on games now, or is it worth the hassle? I guess we'll see what happens in the near future. So next up, the Lord of the Rings Rings of Power set catches fire in the latest incident. A fire reportedly broke out at the set of the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, while the show was filming its second season in the UK. Plumes of smoke were seen on Monday at the Bray Studios set in Windsor, where the series was being filmed. The fire was reportedly started by an electrical fire that broke out in a warehouse on the outskirts of the backlot, causing the Royal Berkshire Fire and Rescue Service to respond and put out the fire. Filming only stopped for an hour and then resumed as planned. No members of the cast or crew had to evacuate the studio site, and it appears nobody was injured. Yeah. I'll have to finish watching it. I got into the Lord of the Rings Rings of Power season. I think I managed to get into episode 5, 6. I think there's only 8 of them. And from what I watched, it was bloody good. Very slow, very methodically planned, all that kind of stuff. But for a TV show, that is what you want. You want it to build. So, next up, live action Moana announced. And this will be starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So Disney and Dwayne Johnson have announced that a live action reimagining of Moana is in development. Didn't he also play the guy in Moana? During today's Disney annual shareholders meeting, Johnson appeared to reveal the project. Little was revealed about the new movie, but Johnson said Moana, Gramatella, Tifiti, Tahii, and of course Maui will appear. Johnson, who voiced Maui in the original animated Moana, will bring the character to life in the live-action version. In the announcement video, Johnson once again credited the inspiration from Maui to his grandfather and former WWE star Peter. But wouldn't it have been WWF star back in those days? But I don't know. This story is my culture, all this, yeah. I don't know. Do you guys interested in these live action stuff that's happening now? Or do you reckon it's getting massively out of hand? Because I think that some of these movies are just being made for the fun of it now. So, next up, WWE and the UFC set to merge under one company. So, it's going to be led by former Endeavour CEO Ari Emanuel and CEO and Vince McMahon as executive chairman. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, World Wrestling Entertainment and UFC's Endeavour will form under a new company, Endeavour Group Holdings World Wrestling Entertainment, operating under the ticket symbol of TKO. Endeavour will hold 51%, while WWE shareholders will hold 49%. Rare opportunity for global live sports and entertainment, pure play built. Why is it a sport? It's not sports. UFC is a sport. Wrestling is entertainment. McMahon weighed into saying he believes this is without doubt the best outcome for our shareholders and other stakeholders. He continued, together we will be a 21 plus billion live sports and entertainment powerhouse with a collective fan base of more than 1 billion people and an exciting growth opportunity. Yeah, he's basically saying that he just wants the money, doesn't he? He just wants the money. So, what do you guys think? Do you think this WWE takeover is anything to be look there? Yeah, what do you reckon? It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But I mean, I've not watched wrestling in years, so I'm not that bothered. Next up, Disney's live-action Lilo and Stitch movie casts its Lilo. Sources have confirmed that Disney has chosen newcomer Maya Keola to star as Lilo in his upcoming live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. As reported by the Night Edge Media and THR, will be joining the cast that also features Zach Galifianakis, yes, who is yet to have a role officially revealed. Keola doesn't have any big acting credits to her name as of yet, but she has participated in the multiple Little Miss Corner coffee pageants, and you can see her in one below. Why is she wearing like a bra set thing and she looks like she's 6? That's a bit disgusting to me. Nothing else is known about the Lilo and Stitch remake, which will bring the 2002 animated classic to life in a new way, but we do know that Marcel and Shell with shoes on... I have no idea what the hell's going on. Disney, I have no idea what's going on. So this next bit of news I had to mention just because I watched the movie the other night and it was amazing. So, Tetris creators are making compromises for the movie. Why the Game Boy is the real hero. So when the Tetris company co-founder Hank Rogers, it says Hank Rogers, is it Hank? I thought it was Hank. Oh, it's gonna get me annoyed now. I think it's Hank Rogers. Sat down and read the script for the Tetris movie. One nitpick immediately came to mind. When I saw the script, I said, "Come on, let me drive. I'm a better driver than Axie." Rogers jokes, referring to a car chase that takes place during the movie. That's Zulika. I don't know. It's supposed to be driven by a Russian driver, that's for sure. Tetris creator Alexei Pajnitov quips back. Have known each other for decades, ever since the real life events that were adapted for the Tetris movie starring Taron Egerton. The pair recently sat down with IGN to discuss blah 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 blah. Meeting Rogers when he came to Russia in an attempt to acquire the rights for Tetris. He wasn't very impressed to see him at first, but as soon as he started talking, I became really charmed. My goodness, his English was so good. I mean, very simple, very honest, very clear, without any kind of trying to sneak in or whatever. Then I realised that this gentleman is the first of the colleague of man I ever met, because there is no such profession in a game design existing in any of my country. Oh, I don't know. I basically had this because watch the Tetris movie. I know it's on Apple Plus TV now, but if you can get this, then please watch it. I do think that there have been some bits and bobs adapted, changed, tweaked for the movie, which I can understand. It's crazy. And I will just say, it's a bloody good movie. Next up, we have Star Trek Starfleet Academy series is officially underway at Paramount Plus. CBS Studios and Paramount Plus have formally announced the Star Trek Starfleet Academy, a new Star Trek series that will follow a new class of Starfleet cadets. Production on the show is set to begin in 2024 in celebration of the series order. The showrunners and executive producers Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landiu released the following statement about it gives a bit of the admission is now open to Starfleet Academy. Explore our galaxy. Captain your destiny. For the first time in over a century, our campus will be reopened to admit individuals from a maximum of 16 Earth years or species equivalent who dream of exceeding their physical and mental spiritual limits, who value friendship. They're talking rubbish. Talking absolute rubbish. Anyway, new Star Trek series. What do you guys think? I think that a few of the Star Trek stuff have been good. There's been a few that are quite bad, but I think there's been more hits than misses with the Star Trek stuff. So what do you guys think? Please leave comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Next up, Netflix announces that Scott Pilgrim anime starring Michael Cera and the full movie cast. Scott Pilgrim anime is on the way from Netflix, starring Michael Cera, Chris Evans, Brie Larson, and all of the original movie cast as voice actors. A casting announcement trailer released on YouTube finally confirmed the long-rumoured series, and alongside a familiar background and sound, a ton of familiar names popped up on screen. Sarah is returning as the titular Scott Pilgrim, and Mary Elizabeth Wainsteed is back as Ramona Flowers, alongside Mark Webber as Stephen Stills, Alison Pill as Kim, Johnny Simmons as Neil Young, Anna Kendrick as Stacy Pilgrim, Ellen Wong as Knives Chow, Aubrey Plaza as Julie Powers, Larson as Envy Adams, and Kieran Culkin as Wallace Wells. The show will feature at least a few evil exes, as Evans is back as Lucas Lee alongside Satya Burr as Matthew Patel, Brandon Ruth as Todd Ingram, Mae Whitman as Roxy Richer, and Jason Schwartzman as Gideon Graves. Original comic book author Brian Lee O'Malley will executive produce, write, and act as showrunner alongside Ben David. Why are these people? Yeah, I loved Scott Pilgrim. I loved it so much. I really hope that they do well with this. I loved it so much. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you reckon it's going to be good? Or do you reckon it's just going to flop like the movie actually did? Which is a shame because it was bloody brilliant. I loved it. But it's weird, everyone else I've shown just doesn't get it. Next up we have Asus is making its own handheld gaming PC to compete with the Steam Deck. So it's developing its first gaming handheld PC, the ROG Ally, to compete with the Steam Deck. Although the company released a trailer for the PC gaming handheld on April Fool's Day, the PC gaming handheld is the real deal, and you can register for it here. Don't go to Best Buy unless you are American. According to Asus, the Ally runs on Windows 11, carries a customized APU developed by Asus and AMD to make it the fastest APU and optimized gameplay performance on the go. Also features dual fans that keep the handheld cool while running a graphically demanding game as quietly as possible. So, what do you guys think? Do you think these sort of like little handhelds are going to become more and more in the future? I think it will. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how these things develop in the future. We have the next bit of news, and that, my friends, is the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. New Sonic game gets surprise release on Steam. Sega loves to surprise Sonic fans, so they surprised everyone by releasing the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, a new murder mystery title featuring the Blue Blur and his friends, for free on Steam. Sonic's social media team announced the shock new game today with the launch trailer showing the game in a visual novel form. The team wrote that the game has been a labour of love from the Sonic social team and a host of amazingly talented people who are just as passionate about Sonic as we are. In the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, Amy Rose is throwing a murder mystery themed birthday party for all of her friends aboard the Mirage Express. When Sonic suddenly dies, you play as a new character who just so happens to be a new crew member starting their first day aboard the train, and work with Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Rogue, and more characters solve the mystery behind Sonic's murder. You get to interrogate everyone, blah 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 blah. No one thought the new Sonic game would be a visual novel, no less, on the eve of April Fool's Day. So, Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is available now to download from Steam. So, give it a go, see what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts about this, because it's Sonic, it's crazy, it's mental. And the last full bit of news that we have got is E3 has been cancelled. Almost a year after announcing its return, the Entertainment Software Association announced today to its members that this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo has been cancelled. Two sources have confirmed to IGN that the organisation announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today. The email said that while E3 remains a beloved event and brand, that the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength and impact of our industry. The ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to advocacy work. It does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. Following IGN's report, the ESA issued the following public statement. Difficult decision because of all the effort, blah 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 blah. I think that they'll go quiet for a couple of years maybe, and then that's when they'll come back, big sort of like treatment with the thing, and see if they can get things up off the ground again. Because E3 is massive, and you know, it's one of those things where the name's bigger than the actual show at the minute. So if you can get the show out there, people will come to it just because of the name. So last up, the top 40. Number 40, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, The Last of Us Remastered, Cricket 22, Official Game of the Ashes, Saints Row, number 35, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, The Callisto Protocol, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, F1 22, Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy The Definitive Edition, number 30, Just Dance 2023 Edition, 13 One Game Collection Volume 1, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Lego Harry Potter Collection, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, number 25, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Dead Space, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Mario Party Superstars, Splatoon 3, number 20, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, The Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Metroid Prime Remastered, Pokemon Scarlet, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, number 15, Pokemon Violet, Sonic Frontiers, Nintendo Switch Sports, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Grand Theft Auto 5, and the top 10, Minecraft at 10, number 9, God of War Ragnarok, number 8, Super Mario Odyssey, number 7, WWE 2K23, number 6, Gotham Knights, number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, number 3, Hogwarts Legacy, number 2, FIFA 23, and at number 1, brand new, Resident Evil 4, and that's thanks to Games Press with the GFK Entertainment software chats all formats, so thank you to them. So, that is the One Gaming Podcast episode 345, with me, David, saying thank you all for watching. Please go to our website, oneupgaming.co.uk,